and welcome to our Foam Direct Monthly Farmer Education Series. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank you, our dear farmers and our community members that have joined this evening. Before we begin, I would just like to say a few words about the Foam Direct. Most of you are quite, familiar with the Foam Direct already, but for those that are joining in and may not have come directly from our platform, we are an agricultural platform created mainly to help connect farmers directly with buyers across Ghana. So our aim is not only to help farmers find markets for their produce, but we also aim to build a stronger farming community where farmers can access very useful information, learn from one another, and also make better decisions for their farms. So that is one of the reasons why we decided to introduce this monthly education series. We asked our members, our WhatsApp community, what topics they wanted us to discuss, and I believe the safe and effective pesticide use was the clear choice, for our first session. This is very important. It's a very important subject, mainly because pesticides can help us protect our crops and also improve our production. But if they are used wrongly, they can also, waste our money. They can, damage our crops and even affect our health. They also can leave very harmful residues on food and cause problems for the environment. So this evening, we want to be able to have a discussion that is also practical, and we are fortunate enough to have with us Mr. Abdulai Suraj. A bit of introduction. Abdulai Suraj, he holds an M.Phil, a Master in Philosophy in Plant Pathology, and is also a Senior Agricultural Officer with over 7 years of experience educating farmers on good agricultural practices, I think in particular management of pests and diseases. So we are in a safe hand. And more importantly, he's also a farmer, so that is very important to know. So he understands that these issues not only from the technical side, but mainly also from the practical realities that farmers face. So Mr. Suraj, we are very grateful to have you with us today, and we will begin with a short presentation. Well, we'll begin with a presentation from him, then after which we'll go into some guided questions and then open the floor for farmers to ask their own questions. So if you have any questions, just prepare yourself, and then once we open the floor, you can put them to Mr. Suraj.
Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you Foam Direct for giving me this opportunity to present on this great topic. So my name is Suraj Abdulai, and the introduction was well done. So let's not waste time on that. So let's move straight to what we are coming to do today. So the topic has already been mentioned: safe and effective pesticide use in agriculture. So by the end of this discussion, we all understand what pesticides are, recognize hazards. We will know how to apply it safely and effectively so we can achieve our results. We will know how to protect ourselves and then the environment as well, and how to dispose of the leftovers or the containers responsibly. So one may ask, what are pesticides? Pesticides, they are chemicals or biological agents that are used to control pests. Most of the time when we talk about pesticides, people think about the chemical aspects only, but we have biological parts as well. These are botanicals like tree, maybe leaves, parts of plants, or some other living organisms. We use some viruses or bacteria or fungi as pesticides as well. Some insects are used as pesticides. Anything that's, when we talk about pesticides, anything that can kill pests. So we use some of the living organisms as well to kill some of the pests. For example, spiders. Spiders trap some of these insects, their webs, and kill them. They feed on them. The same thing when you look at BT. BT, which we normally refer to it as a bipel. That is also a living organism. They are powder, but they are living organisms that we use in controlling pests. They are actually bacteria. So the name is Bacillus thuringiensis. So we have bipel, agu, V-power. They are all BT product. They are natural living organisms. And we have the neem extracts, which we have been using. That is also botanical. So these are biological aspects. And pesticides, we have different types of pesticides. We have insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, rodenticide, nematicide. So insecticides are what we use in controlling the insects, which are very common, the white flies, aphids, spider mites. Then we have herbicides, which we use to control weeds, because weeds are also pests, because they are there taking nutrients from the soil, but we don't need them in our farms. Therefore, they are pests. So herbicides are used to control herbs or weeds. Then we have fungicides, which are used to treat fungal diseases or to protect our crops against fungi. Then we have rodenticides, which are usually used to control rodents like rats and other animals. Then nematicides, which are used to control nematodes. Most of the time, people use insecticides, thinking it will control fungal for them. Some people use insecticide thinking it will control fungal diseases. Normally, we refer to the insecticide as poison. So sometimes someone will be having maybe bacterial problem, but you go and buy insecticide. There was a case that someone even recommended herbicide for someone to use on his pepper. So the person also didn't know. He went and buy the herbicide and sprayed it on the pepper leaves, thinking he would get bumper harvest. Later, he called me that the leaves of the pepper have become yellow. So I went there, and after assessment, I realized it was weedicide that he sprayed on the pepper. So someone may ask, why do we use pesticides? Previously, we were not using pesticide. Our forefathers were not using it. So why are we using it? Right now, pests and diseases have become rampant on our farms. So there is no way we can do, especially commercial farming, without using pesticides. Now, diseases, even in our backyard, you plant tomatoes and let's say you come, you see disease on it. So it is very important that now we use pesticide to protect our crops, to increase our yield, to improve the quality. Because tomatoes, for example, you plant your tomato, you don't protect it. These borers, fruit borers, worms, they'll come and bore holes in the tomato, and then they will destroy the quality. They will not even ripe. Before they ripe, they will spoil, and you will not get good market. Cabbage, pests will come and feed on it, bites the leaves. So when you take it to the market, you will not even get a good price for it. Therefore, there is a need for us to apply pesticides so that we can improve our food security. Risk of improper use. Yes, pesticides, as some farmers refer to it as poison. Poison because it can kill human beings. As it is killing some pests for us, it can also harm we the human beings or the environment. It can kill, it can cause skin irritation, it can cause respiratory problems like heart attack, asthma, other problems. It can trigger those things. Reproduction complications. There are situations where some men have become impotent because of pesticide abuse. They didn't use it the right way. There are women who are having problem with childbirth because of pesticide misapplication. Farming, pest persistence. Wrong use of pesticide can lead to resistance against the pesticide. Some of the pests, they can build resistance if you don't use the pesticide well. For example, you go and increase the dosage. If it doesn't kill the thing, it will make it stronger. If you reduce the dose, maybe you are supposed to use 10 mils, you use 5 mil because you want to be, you are doing economics. You will end up not killing the thing, and the thing will now build resistance against that chemical. So the next time you use it, it will not work at all. There are instances whereby someone will tell you that, my farm, if I use lambda, it doesn't work, it doesn't kill the pest. Sometimes it's because of these things. The pesticide was abused, so now the insects or the pests have built resistance against it. Another thing is it can leave residue in our produce. If you don't use it well, we can leave some of the toxins in the pesticide in the food that we will harvest and eat. So after eating, we'll be having running stomach, people will be vomiting, and other things. The environment, contamination of water bodies, that is also another problem. Pesticide can lead to water contamination, and the animals in the water will die, or even livestock that will go and drink the water, or even human beings can be poisoned. Sometimes someone will tell that, oh, yeah, your body fast, azonto style. So instead of mixing, let's say, 20 mils in a knapsack, they will pour maybe half of the bottle, about 100 or 200 mils in one knapsack sprayer, and then they will try to finish maybe 1 acre with it. They will say, oh, wait, you're born fast. Increasing the concentration like that can harm the environment, the soil itself. So after that, you see that you plant the things will not be doing well because there is so much herbicide in the land. So after that, you realize that all the weeds will die. It will take a long time for them to grow, and anything you plant, the thing will suffer because of the herbicide in the soil. So we need to use it the right way. Now, choosing the right pesticide. First of all, you have to scout your field at least twice or 3 times a week. So even if you are far away, at least try where once a week you go there, you look around, look on top of the leaf, under the leaf, the stem, look out for abnormal signs, whether you find some pest or symptoms of disease on it. If you find yellowing or something like the stem, every stem will be green, then some part will be black or brown, or you see some rotten signs on some parts of the plants. These are signs that you can use to know the kind of pesticides to use for it. Choose registered products. Go to the agrochemical shop and buy the right product. Sometimes people come to information centers and be announcing they'll be having some pesticide, then they'll be announcing it. They don't have any license for it. Nobody has given them the permit to sell it. So they will just be in one corner, gather some containers, make some things, and then come out and be selling it. It may work for you, but it may give you another problem that you are not aware of. So we need to use registered products. With the registered products also, the label follows a particular format, which will enable you to know how to use it. That is another reason why we recommend the registered products. And then you need to look at toxicity and then the environmental impact of the pesticide you are going to use. On the label, they will write all those things on it so that you know how to use it to avoid those adverse problems. Another thing to look at is the pre-harvest interval, which is normally written as PHI. This tells you how long it will take for you to be able to harvest some of the food. It will take the number of days or weeks or months it will take to for you to be able to eat the food you are producing on the farm. And then we have to prioritize organic pesticide, as I mentioned earlier, on the neem extract, the BT, and other things. These are not the only ones. There are other natural products. Agro, V-Power, Bipel. These are all natural products that you can buy and use. Let's prioritize those ones. Mostly, we go and then we ask for chemicals. Chemical one am I? Sometimes you have to say it that I want this one, then they will give you that one. These ones, the natural ones, they don't harm the environment as compared to the toxic ones or the chemical ones. For the neem extract, the BT, you can apply it today, you can eat your food tomorrow. There will be no problem. But for the chemical ones, most of them, for the insecticide, most of them will take 2 weeks. Insecticide and fungicide, most of them is 2 weeks. For the nematicide, it's about 2 to 3 months. Yeah, that is how long some of them take. So if you are not conversant with these things, you may end up poisoning yourself or poisoning your customers.
Raj.
So when you buy the
Hello, Raj. Just a quick question.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just wondering if I'm a farmer that maybe I am not so much educated enough to be able to identify what sort of pest is, wrong with my, crops. How do I decide on
Yes.
what pesticides to then, use? Because when I go to the agro shops, okay, how do I know which pesticides do I need for my farm in this instance?
Okay, so I began with identifying the pest. So before you buy, you need to look at the problem you are going to solve, whether it's a pest, it's an insect problem or fungal problem. If it is an insect problem, then you need to look at what insect it is, whether it's an aphids, a spider mite, because there are so many chemicals, but not all can kill or protect the crop against all the insects. So if it's a spider mite, we will recommend a different pesticide for you. If it is, let's say, leaf hoppers or grasshoppers or these we some more from example crickets,
Mm.
mbebe, and yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
let
true.
me mix the language. Because I know we have people who understand you, so let me mix it up. Yes, so
Okay.
all these things they have different chemicals that are effective against them.
Mm.
So
Okay.
first of all, you have to identify the problem.
Okay. Okay.
So even if you are not, if you can't identify, do take the symptoms. As we all have smartphones nowadays, take close-up shots of the signs or the symptoms on the plants, and then you go back and then you take a wide shot and then post it on the platform
Mm.
so that experts can use the image you provided to at least help you diagnose the pest or the disease and then give you the recommendation.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
you take a close-up shot and then you take a wide one that will cover maybe 10 or more plants in the shots.
okay. Okay. So I think at this point, it's important to have, working with an agronomist, for instance, or even with agriculture extension officers like yourself. You need to be in touch with these
Yes.
people so that they can help you to identify some of these issues if you cannot just, tell them by yourself. So yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point. So
Can
Yeah,
I ask a quick
exactly.
question, please?
Okay.
Yeah. So, how are consumers going to protect themselves? Because if you go to the market, you didn't know that like a chemical has been applied maybe a day or two earlier, and they just go buy and then consume. How do we sort of protect ourselves if you are not a farmer and they go buy from the market?
Okay, if you are not a farmer, you go and buy it from the market. First of all, don't put it in the refrigerator immediately. When you buy vegetables or fruit from the market, try and leave it. Don't eat it. You know, once you know you use it, don't go and buy and eat it that same day. If you want to be safe, buy it, leave it in your room for maybe 2 or 3 days or 4 days before you eat. And then there are other ways. When you buy it, you wash it because some of the pesticides are contact. So some don't penetrate the food. Some they will tell you it's contact, but they actually penetrate the fruits. So that one you have to be careful. So you come home, you wash it. You can use vinegar. You can wash it with vinegar or salt water. That way, it's also those items will also pull some of the chemicals away before you eat. So these are some of the things you can do. If you put it in the fridge, it will freeze everything. That means the chemical will remain as it is in the food. Let's say if it is tomato, the chemical will remain as it is in the tomato. But if you leave the tomato in the open or you leave it in your kitchen or a cool, dry place, the chemical will disintegrate gradually and that toxicity will not be potent again. So,
Thank you.
all right. And then you need to look at when you buy the pesticide, you need to look at so you look at the active ingredients, the target pest, the dosage, first aid. It's because some chemicals, they will tell you that this one, in case you feel you've been poisoned by the chemical, don't try to induce vomiting. Don't put your hand in your throat to vomit. Some they will tell you don't do this. Some they will tell you maybe drink this kind of solution or wash your face or wash the parts that the pesticide has got into. So all these things are normally on the label. Then they will tell you the pre-harvest interval, whether 2 weeks before you harvest and eat, whether 1 month before you can harvest. Re-entry interval, REI. That one also tells you after spraying the farm, how long it will take before you can enter the farm again. And then when you look at the chemical here, 5-star, when you look at the top, you see rainbow. That is the company's name. Then beneath the picture, you see the product, there's trade name, which is 5-star. Then the active ingredients is there. Then at the bottom, you see that green line, the green mark at the bottom. That tells you how harmful the thing is. So usually if it is green, it is okay. It means it is not too much harmful to human beings. If it is red, it is highly harmful to human beings. If it is yellow, that means it is in between. That is it. So normally when you are harvesting your product, don't use chemicals that have red band at the bottom. Don't use those ones because they are very, very harmful to human beings. But you can use the green ones or the blue ones. So green and blue, they are safe, but red is dangerous for human beings. So how to protect yourself when you are going to apply pesticide? This is how you should dress. Dress as if you are going to remove honey from honeycomb. Protect yourself as if you are protecting yourself against bees. So you put on your gloves, your boots, goggles, respirator or face mask. The nose mask that we're wearing when COVID came. Yes, wear it so that you don't inhale some of the pesticide you are applying. The pesticide, it is the scent that's the work. So when you look at the mosquito spray that we spray in our room, it is the scent that kills the mosquitoes. It is not like the spray will go and fall on the mosquito before it dies. It is the scent. Same with some of the pesticides that we use in our farms. So when you inhale it, it means you are also poisoning yourself. That is why you need the respirator. You wear goggles to protect your eyes so that wind will not blow some of the particles into your eyes. Long sleeves to cover your body. You put on your hat so that even when the wind blows some of the chemicals up, it will not fall on you. That is why we do it this way. You put on your gloves to protect your hands. You go to some places, you see farmers mixing pesticides with their hands. Some time ago, there was a lady on TikTok who was teaching people how to control weeds in maize farm. So she mixed atrazine and some other, I think, nickel, and she was using her hand to stir. So some of us saw the video and then we alerted Crop Life people. So the Crop Life went there and then they educated her and then they gave her the personal protective equipment. She was given a uniform just like this one to be using.
Raj, just a quick one because I know that most of our farmers don't use these protective PPE that you've shown here. Is there any alternative? Because I'm not really seeing many farmers going to dress up like this and going to the farm to apply pesticides. So is there any other way that they can protect themselves without having to wear these goggles? Because at the end of the day, even with the mask, the breathing apparatus, where are they going to find them? Are the government distributing these for farmers so that they can use, or they have to go out of pocket to be able to get these themselves? So is there any alternatives besides having to don all these equipment? Yeah.
All right, with the equipment, sometimes some NGOs or some institutions partner with the government to supply some to farmers. But in most cases, you have to buy it yourself because governments, frankly, if the funds doesn't come from somewhere, it will be difficult for government to provide farmers with the uniform. So normally you can get some around. Fire service, they wear some, even some farmers use raincoats because that one water doesn't penetrate. So you just need something that water will not penetrate easily. That is why we don't recommend cotton. If you wear cotton clothes to go and spray, cotton, it will soak the water. And once it soaks the water will touch your body. You don't want the water to touch your body. So you wear clothes that when the water fall on them, at least it will just flow on it and then fall on the ground without penetrating to touch your skin. And some farmers were given some of these clothes some time ago, but they were even complaining that when they wear it, they feel too hot. They feel too hot in it. You see, so they will not use the thing and then they'll be poisoning themselves. So yeah, it may not feel comfortable to use it, but you have to try and protect yourself, because feeling hot for maybe some few hours and then you being impotent, which one do you prefer? So you protect yourself.
Okay.
Fire service, they wear it. They will wear this one to go and fight fire.
Okay. So
if you're going to remove honey from your beehive, you dress like this to protect yourself so that the bee doesn't hit you. But the pesticide, because people sometimes they don't see the effects immediately, they think, oh, it doesn't really necessitate they going through all these troubles. You see.
Okay.
And
so
that's
quick one.
Okay.
So if I bought a pesticide that maybe had the label green, do I need to wear all these PPEs before I spray it or I use it?
I would say yes, because you see, the reality is that, I'll be frank with you, the reality is that some of the companies abuse the system. They don't use the right color codes. So someone may put green on it, but the thing is chemical. Ideally, you are not supposed to put green or yellow, green or blue on with chemical pesticides. But you see someone with green, yet the thing is chemical. Green is supposed to be for the biological ones, like the neem extracts, bipel, you get it. So sometimes the best thing is for you to protect yourself at all times. So maybe if you're using neem extract, maybe you're going to pluck some leaves, soak it in water, waposa would you go tank when you which make us say when shantali winina. But once I want to chemical, say lambda, when glyphosate, you have to protect yourself. At least wear your Wellington boots, wear trousers, because as you spray, you'll be walking through the farm and the things will be touching your legs. So wear your Wellington boots, wear your trousers, get long sleeves.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then mixing and applying the pesticide. Measure the pesticide accurately. Just as I gave example earlier, some people will say they are doing azonto spraying. So they will pour about half of the full bottle in one knapsack tank, and then they will mix it with the water and be spraying. If you do that, you are harming the land. At the time you plant and you will not be getting good results. If you don't mix it up to the level that you are supposed to do, to the pests will build resistance. You spray and it will not work. They will still be there. Avoid spilling. Yes. Try your best to do it gently so that you don't pour it on the ground. Do not combine pesticides unless the label says so. That is another thing. Sometimes we do our own mixtures. You buy this, you buy that, then you combine them in one tank and then go and apply. Sometimes it will work for you, but it may give you another side effect that you may not be aware of. Sometimes that is what happens. Because you see, when you mix two chemicals, they can recombine to form different products. So maybe you apply it will not work, or the way it was supposed to do the work, it will not do the work that way. Some too, it will overdo the work and will give you other problems. So let's stick to what they say. Because for example, the label, if you buy and use and there is a problem, you can take the company to court. But if you go and then you mix it with other chemical, which company are you going to take to court? You get it. And then spray in the direction of the wind. Yes, when you are spraying, you need to look at the direction, because if you spray against the wind direction, the wind will throw the pesticide back onto your body. So when you spray in the direction, it is going to left. You also spray to the left. That way, the pesticide will not be blown back to you. Do not eat or drink when spraying. Don't smoke cigar when you are spraying, because it's likely your hand will be contaminated. Or even when you are smoking, you are pulling the air into your body. That means the wind that you are spraying, the scent is in the wind, or some of the chemical will be in the wind, and you pull it back into your body. Eating, maybe I'll read a brochure, ubotum, now ubo spray, ubo kakran way, brunare. One shall be now poison. Pour pesticide in sprayer and add water to about half tank full. Close and shake to mix well. Yes. The pesticide, when you are mixing it, you pour small. Some people will mix it in a barrel. Actually, they will mix them in a barrel and be fetching. No problem with that. But just try not to be mixing with your hand and mix it accurately. But if you are using a knapsack sprayer, because you will be shaking it, you mix it to half. You pour the pesticide in, you pour water to half of the tank and then close it, and then you shake so that it can mix well. If you fill it to the top before shaking, it can't mix well, because when it is at the top, the water will not be shaking properly. But if it is halfway, you can shake it well and it will mix. Then you top it up and then shake small and then put it at your back and then spray, so that you can get effective results. Because all this, if you don't mix it well, you spray some part will get the active ingredients, some part will get only water. So you will not get uniform results. Avoid touching pesticide with bare hands. As I've said, some of the pesticides, when you look at something like the dietine that we normally use, dietine, that is mancozeb and carbendazole. These ones, they can bring about barrenness, impotence. So they are very dangerous. So we shouldn't be touching them with our bare hands. They can cause so many problems. Avoid spraying on overgrown weeds. Yes, sometimes someone will leave his farm maybe about 6 months, 7 months, 8 months before you go there to weed. And he will not even weed with cutlass. He will be using the spray. So the weeds are as tall as himself. This way, you'll be forced to raise the nozzle of the sprayer upwards. And when you raise it upwards, the wind will definitely blow some on you. And you'll be walking in the weeds as well. So the weeds will be touching you. They'll be brushing your face, your neck, your body. You see, so you end up contaminating yourself. And the toxins will enter your body through the pores on your skin. Don't go to the farm to spray with babies. Yes, babies, anything they see, they will touch. And after touching, they will take their hand to their mouth. So when you leave them there with pesticides, it's likely they will touch it and poison themselves. Drinking water and food, keep it away from where you'll be mixing the pesticide, so that some will not spill or sprinkle on the food or water. Effective pesticide application. Now, apply the pesticide early in the morning or late in the evening, because most of the pesticides, when there is too much heat, they will undergo some chemical reactions and their effects will be reduced. That is why you have to apply early in the morning or in the evening when the sun has gone down. Another reason is that most of the pests, most of the insects, they are nocturnal, or they are more active in the night. So early in the morning, they will still be there. But getting to the afternoon, they will run and go and hide. They will run and hide. So when you come and spray, you will not get them. That is why if you want to achieve effective results, you have to force and spray early in the morning, maybe 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Don't be spraying after 10 a.m. That time, you may not get them. And the pesticide will be wasted. By the time they come back, the sun would have destroyed the pesticide. So you will not get any results. And then apply contact insecticide on every part of the plant. Some pesticides are systemic, some are contact. Something like lambda. Lambda is contact. So if you spray and you don't get the animal at that time, and it comes maybe 3 days time, it will not do anything to it. So it's either you spray and then the pest, some of the chemical will fall on the insects before it will die, or some will fall on the leaf and then it will come and bite the leaf. It will bite that part that the poison touched. that is when it will die. So you have to spray every part of the plant so that wherever it touches or wherever it is hiding, some will fall on it or some will touch it so that it will die. For the systemic, you can only spray, you can just spray on the leaves and it will enter the plant and pass every part of the plant, including the roots. So wherever the pest is or whenever the pest come and bite it, it will get the effect, it will die. Fungicide too, the same thing. You have to spray it on every part of the plants because most of them are contact. So you need to spray every part of the plant, on top of the leaf, under the leaf. Most of the insects, they hide under the leaves. So always when you are spraying, you need to spray under the leaves as well. Don't just spray on the top. And fungicide, always try to pour some at the base of the plants because most fungicide are soil-borne, meaning they live in the soil. So they will pass through the roots and enter. Or when rain fall, the raindrops will splash the soil onto the lower leaves and then they will start penetrating the plants through that side. So always try to spray some around the base of the plant, the soil around the plant base, to control some of the fungi in the soil. Reapply pesticide after 10 days or after heavy rainfall because when there is heavy rainfall, it will wash away the one you applied. So you have to go and apply again. Or after 10 days. So if you want to, let's say you have white flies, you want to control them effectively, you spray first one. After 10 days or at day 10, you have to go and spray again. Don't just spray once and go. You have to, because maybe the time we're spraying somewhere eggs they've not hatched yet, and maybe that pesticide is not able to kill eggs or it doesn't destroy eggs. So maybe a few days and they will hatch. So if you don't go and spray, those that will hatch will then begin spreading again. Then they also grow and then lay eggs and then the numbers will increase again. Then they will destroy your farm. That is why you have to spray at least twice when you want to control a particular pest. Avoid spraying during drizzling or when it's about to rain. Yes, when it drizzles, it will reduce the concentration and the poison you sprayed will not work. And the pests will end up building resistance against it. When you spray and then less than 30 minutes it rains, it is likely the pesticide will not be effective because the rain will wash it away and it will go and contaminate other water bodies. Control weeds before they produce seeds. Yes, weeds are pests, don't forget. And if you want to control weeds effectively, don't wait for them to produce seeds. Once they produce seeds, the seed will also spread and germinate. So before they produce seeds, control them. Whether you weed or you apply weedicide, it will control them. That way, it will take a longer time before they will grow again. But when you wait for them to produce seeds, you go and spray, the seeds will germinate immediately. Practice crop rotation or intercropping. Yes, this one is also an effective way of managing your pests and a cost reductive method. It reduces your cost when you practice crop rotation. So today you planted tomato at this side of the land. Then next time that place you plant maize. Then you go and plant the tomato elsewhere. So you'll be rotating, changing. Don't be planting one crop every day at the same place. When you do that, its diseases and pests will build up on that place. But they know that every year you plant. So they will all come there. They will be laying their eggs there. And as you continue applying the pesticide, they will one day build resistance against it. So one day now if you are building resistance, I feel can almost be. And it's the same thing with the pest. When you keep using the same thing on them, they will build resistance against it. Avoid practice crop rotation, improve crop nutrition. Yes. To say nipa deseni. Se wundi year obe yare. Enti na yaka say indi balanced diet, with the fruits kakra, with the vegetables kakra, carbohydrate kakra, nam kakra. The same thing. The crops, they also need nutrition. Enti na also mano, maybe a poultry manure, organic fertilizer, NPK, which will manage these things to boost its nutrition so that it can also fight against some of these diseases. And actually, if you want to control your pests effectively, or diseases especially, give it, buy these liquid organic fertilizers. Yes, the organic liquid fertilizer, most of them, they have different nutrients that you will not get in NPK or ammonia. Because NPK has 3, Sometimes they will add maybe some few nutrients to it, but mostly when they say NPK, it's 3. N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, K for potassium. But the organic fertilizers or the liquid fertilizers, they will have all nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, boron, calcium, carbon. They have different nutrients in small quantities, but all these play major role in the health of your plants. They help the plant to fight against diseases. Virus doesn't have we don't have pesticide that control viral diseases. So once your field is attacked by this virus, you can only pray. And one way you can withstand or you can still fight it and get some harvest is by giving it these organic liquid fertilizers, because they have some of these nutrients. It will help them to at least withstand the disease. Then you control the insects that are causing that are transmitting the virus. These viruses, most of them are transmitted by insects, whitefly, aphids, thrips. They usually transmit the viral diseases. So sometimes when you see that your leaves are yellow, they are killed. The leaves are killing, they are yellow, the plant is stunted. It is viral disease. And these are normally transmitted by insects. So for you to control them effectively, you have to control the insects. So you need to look at the insect that is bringing the virus. So you scout and look for that insect. Buy an insecticide that will control the insects. Then you give it nutrients that will help it to boost its immune system so that it can withstand the disease. There is no medicine that will cure the virus for you. Storage and transport. Yes, keep your pesticides in the original containers. Don't change the containers or tear the label from them, because when there is a problem, it is a container that you can take to the hospital and they will know what to do, because they will look at the active ingredients or the things that are written on the label and they will know what to do or how to attend to you. So usually keep it in the original container. Another thing is, when you take the pesticide from the original container, you may put it in maybe a rush bottle or Vortex bottle. Someone will come and see, then the person will think it's maybe you drink, then the person will drink it. That is why we recommend you keep it in original container. When you take something like some of these fertilizers, urea, some of them they look like salt, some look like sugar. So if you keep them in, let's say maybe these clear rubber, plain rubbers, polythene bags, someone will come and see and the person will think it's salt or sugar. Maybe the person doesn't go, the person is not a farmer. When the person sees it, he will think it's salt or sugar. So we need to keep it in the original containers. Don't transport it in the passenger part. Maybe where you are sitting there, you keep it there, because in case of accidents, it will spill on you. So you need to keep it in, maybe if it is a taxi, keep it in the boot, or a private car or a cargo car, keep it in the cargo compartment, the boots or elsewhere. It is not advisable to keep it where the passenger will sit, or you add it to your food stuff. Maybe you went to the market to buy some gari, buy some vegetables and other things, then you buy the pesticide and then you put it in the same rubber. Don't do that. In case of spillage, you can get some problems. Lock it away from children. Yes, children, they like to play. Wherever they see, they will touch. That is why you need to keep it away from your children. Don't keep pesticide in your bedroom. As we said, sometimes they can evaporate, and that evaporation can poison you. So don't keep them. Some pesticides are very dangerous. Something like, there is one that they call bomb or aluminium phosphide. If you put it in your room, the next day you die. If you don't die, you become unconscious. They have to rush you to the hospital. So they are very dangerous. Sometimes you go to agrochemical shop, they open the shop now, then you start sneezing. Either you'll be sneezing or you'll be coughing. That means there is concentrated chemicals in the air in that area. That is why you are sneezing. So that is a sign that some pesticides have entered your body. Now, for you to dispose of the containers after use, you need to rinse it 3 times. Rinse the container 3 times so that you clear most of the part. You can never clean a plastic container. A plastic container, once you use it or once you put pesticide in it, you can't clean it 100%. But at least you get most of the toxins out of it. Then you create holes in it so that someone will not take it and reuse. Because some people will take the container, they will think it's beautiful. Some will go and cut it open, put salt in it. Yes, these are real situations. So these are real examples I'm giving. Some people use it for containers or use it for other things. So don't reuse it. Puncture holes in it. You can burn, bury it, or give it to those who do the recycling. First aid. When you feel or when you know some of the pesticides have maybe you wanted to put the tank at your back and some poured on you, immediately put it down and then wash it off your skin. Because some of the pathogens, some of the pesticides, within 5 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes, they will penetrate your body. Once they touch your skin, within some few minutes, they will enter. So immediately it pours on you, they put the thing down, wash it. When you are applying pesticide and you feel itches in your eyes, immediately go and wash the eyes because it's a sign that some of the chemicals have entered your eye. When you are sneezing or coughing, you need to leave the place and go to a place that you can get fresh air because it means that where you are, the thing is too concentrated there. And then seek medical help with the label. Don't go to the hospital without the label. So the key messages here is that read the label well, wear PPEs, use it correctly, and consult experts so that you can effectively manage the pest. As I was saying, if you don't use it well, the pest, you will not control it, and it will end up even reproducing and then causing more harm in your farm for you. It will be devastating for you to go and spend money to buy pesticide, go and use, and you will not get any results. So let's use it correctly, use it at the right time, and then consult experts as well. Every district have an agric office. There is an agric office in every district. So you can always go there to consult them. It is free. They don't charge because they are being paid by the government to serve farmers. So you can go there anytime and then they will assist you. Thank you very much. So if there are further questions, you can bring them out then.
Thank you, Raj. What a wonderful presentation. The floor is open to our farmers. If you have any questions about your pesticides use, pest and disease control, anything, any question that or a situation that you've experienced on your farm, there's an opportunity for you to ask those questions. So keep the questions coming, and hopefully Raj would answer them comfortably for you. So the floor is open for any questions that you got.
Yeah, thank you, Raj. So we talked about rinsing the container 3 times. Where do you rinse it to, or into what do you rinse? Because I just want some clear direction on that. When you want to rinse.
Okay, when you want to rinse it, you can take it to maybe the farm boundary. Yes, so there you can rinse it there. Don't rinse it in a river or stream. And you are not rinsing it into maybe a pine that you'll be rinsing it. No, you pour the water in it, shake it, pour it on the ground. You get it? So you not be doing it in your farm, maybe the boundary or where you don't grow your crops. You pour it there at a small place. You just pour it there. Some even dig small hole. You just create a hole so that it will not spread around. It will just go deep down. Yes.
Okay.
Are you okay with it?
Hello?
Okay, I have a question.
And then how do you dispose of the container? Yeah. So just a follow-up. How do you dispose of the container?
Yes, the container, you can bury the container.
Okay.
Some also burn. Yeah, you dig a hole and then you bury them. Some burn them, but the burning too, it also has another global warming problem. But then you look at the bigger picture. You look at which one causes more harm. So some people will burn, some will bury it, some too will give it to the recyclers. Those people, they will melt it. They will melt the rubber and to produce maybe other things.
Okay. So I have a question. Like, how do you make the glyphosate?
How do you?
makes the glyphosate? I mean, the how are you going to pour it and then mix it inside the naphtha sprayer?
Oh, okay. Some of the pesticide they come with a measuring cup. So they will tell you first they will write maybe a quantity per hectare. But we spoke with them, so now they use 15 mils. That is the knapsack sprayer. That is what they use to measure. So they will tell maybe use 150. So they all the product they don't have the same measurement. So depending on the company that manufactured it, some will tell you to use 100 mils per tank or 100 mils per uh, 15 mils of water. So you use the cup that they gave you to measure the 100 or 150 mils that they are talking about. And all these are usually written on the label. Are you okay?
Yeah, but some are using they're using milk can, like the short one, to pour inside the naphtha sprayer. That one, is it good or is not good?
Yes, you can use that one because some of them, as I said, that milk can is about 100 or 150 mils.
Uh,
So yes, so depending on the chemical you are, it is not for every chemical because some, if the chemical said, if the label says you should use 20 or 40 mils, and you use the milk can, it means you are abusing it, you are over applying it, you are increasing the dosage, and that is not good. So if only you are the listen, so some most of the time, some of the glyphosates they will tell you to use 150. Some is 150, some is 200, 200 mils per 15 mils. So with those ones, you can use the milk can to measure.
uh, uh,
Okay.
okay,
Agro
okay. Thank you,
Spring.
thank you.
Agro Spring, you've got a question. Can you? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So my question has to do with ants infestation. My places, I noticed there are a lot of ants around. So is there any chemical that you can recommend I use on my farm?
Yes, there are chemicals that you can use. Um, we have Chlorfox, Chlorpyrifos, that is the name of the active ingredient, but there are different manufacturers. We have Chlorfox, different trade names out there, and Clopper. I don't know if you know Clopper. No, that container, usually that container is very small. That one they can also kill ants and Nimaran. But Nimaran, we don't like recommending it because the pre-harvest interval is 3 months. If you use it on your farm, you can't eat any food from the farm unless after 3 months. It is highly toxic to human beings, so usually we don't recommend that one. But the Chlorfox, you can use it. Uh, there are many other ways that you can use to control ants. So the Chlorfox is one, or Sampirifos. Yes, Sampirifos contains that active ingredient, so that one will control them. But what you have to do is that you have to look for where the ants are coming from. So if it is ants, ants can put their challenge heading because they have different holes around the farm. But if it is we know here from example mites no, unfortunately termites, or you can look for the termitarium or the anthill, then you break it. Ubu and we feel droning inside. And no concentrate here do and we feel inside. Then you can get rid of them from your farm. But for the ants, it means you have to look for a day that they will come out because sometimes they'll be there, but it's not always that they come out. There are particular times that they will come out plenty. Then you go and spray on them.
Okay. Abdul Hakim, I think you have your hands up for some time now. You can. Is it Abdul Hakim? Maybe not. Okay. So Dorcas, you've got your hands up as well.
Yeah, please. So I learned you can use neem leaves to control weeds. How is it done?
Yes, neem. Okay, let me make it quick. So if you want to use the neem extract, you can use the neem leaves or the seeds. And research has shown that the seeds are even more potent than the leaves. So
Okay.
you can collect the seeds, dry them, pound them. You pound.
Mm-hmm.
So after pounding, then you can collect maybe a handful into a bucket of water and stir it, mix it up. Then um, you will sieve it into the tank and apply.
Okay.
With
Okay.
that one alone, is effective. But you can also add a small amount of liquid soap, maybe 10 mils. Maybe all the rest
Okay.
to it, liquid soap kakrebi and I say alatasamina kakrebi wapusa from so that it can
Okay.
stick on the leaf for a long time. Once a nim no kwane de be nsunsu nti
Okay.
egusu a nsu kakra pete gusu be wash but all the samina ne kakra kan wa e be stick on the
Okay.
leaf for a long time.
Okay.
And you can also add small amount of pepper, hot pepper.
Okay.
Maybe amikusambi, yes.
Okay.
And then if you want to use the leaf to, let's say if you want to go and apply it tomorrow morning, you
Mm-hmm.
can put the leaf maybe a or tank back no wait me akobu abai no ano no obebu be say 3-5 b 3 and I say 5 b okay wo dey go nsuo no wa soki
Mm-hmm.
ade be chi no na ade chi wa udu hokra bete pampan no bete say
Okay.
abem na nsuo ni ay green nti wo posa wo mu posa wo nsuo no mu obi kura tumi de blender e blend it once enim de enye poison
Mm-hmm.
e drum utumi nom wa utumi nom bi nti say all the blender kura boni bi enim
Okay.
oyɛ na wasɔ no so egu tank no mu ɛno nso de same wobɛtumi de liquid soap no bi afra na wakɔ pɔmpe nti sɛ woyɛ cabbage especially cabbage ne lettuce saa noma no it is recommended sɛ wobɛuse neem extracts no because wɔn sɛ ɛno ɛnkyɛn ana ɛno nso wobɛtumi ti ade no sesi a na wodi no sesi a
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I think Mauli, your hands have been up for some time now. If you want to post your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So please, I would like to know what's your take on how to control pests? Is it advisable for you to wait for them to start coming before you start applying your pesticide? Or because according to the topic, we are looking at the safe and effective pesticide use.
yes
I would like to.
yes thank you very much for the question. And for the pest you start with protection. So from the seeds you buy, you need to buy certified seed. It is not advisable to be taking seeds from farmers because you don't know the disease that is on the person's farm. So it's best you buy the seed because the certified seeds they've been treated. Even with that one, still when you buy, so whether you buy from the certified seed or this, before you apply, before you nurse them, you need to at least the soil that you use for the nursery, you treat the soil. So all those things are the protective measures. You can apply. How do you call this thing? But dress care. We use it to treat the seeds when we are nursing the seeds. So you can do that. All these are the protective measures, and then you can start with the organic pesticide control. And maybe the neem, the bipel, trichoderma. You can use those ones until you see that maybe there is a particular pest or disease that these ones are not effective on. Then you use a chemical one that can control them effectively. So, but if you have history, maybe you've been using the farm for a long time, and you know that every year this particular disease comes, or every year this particular pest comes there. Oh, maybe maybe and I say we crickets who could two toes could team or maybe chichaso. Could team in toes better than which we that means you have to start protecting you have to start using the pesticide immediately. You don't have to wait till they come because you already know they are there. So if you want to control them effectively, you have to be applying. And also practice the crop rotation that we talk about. Don't be cultivating the same crop always. These are all protective measures that you can use to minimize the impact of pests and diseases on the farm.
Okay. We've got some few more questions, and then we'll probably have to wrap the session over. So I'll just, Ajua, you have your hands up. If you've got a brief question, yeah, for our guest.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. Please, I want to find out, is there an organic fungicide available on the market? And then secondly, with the control of nematodes, when it's already manifested, is it still advisable to apply any of the nematicides that you mentioned? Or in this case, can you recommend an organic nematicide? I've heard a lot about the neem cake, by the way, but please, if you can throw a little bit light on that for me. Thank you.
All right, nematodes. Nematodes, there are other organic ways like we have this is it African sunflower, and then some other natural crops that they say can control. I've not tried them because I'm being practical with you, because this one is not school that we are going. I'm being practical with you. People have tried it. Maybe in books, you can read it on the books, but sometimes you try it on the farm and you don't get the results. So I would not want to say something from the book and then someone will go and do it and the person will be losing his money, because farming is an investment. So I'm being practical. But there are so for organic nematicide, I'm not too sure, because the neem, someone will do the research, will tell you it worked. A farmer will go and try it, will tell you it didn't work. But what I can say is that for the chemicals, we have Nimaran. It can control the nematodes. But as I'm saying, it takes 3 months before you can eat from that farm. So it means you have to apply it before you plant. You understand? If it is tomato or garden eggs, you have to apply the Nimaran to control the nematodes before you plant. Because most of the crops, they take 3 months to be ready for harvesting. So when you apply it before you come and plant, that way they can by the time they reach maturity, you can harvest and eat. And there is another one, Velon Prime. Velon Prime, that one is also another nematicide in Ghana here. So there are quite a number of them here that you can use. But for the organic ones, you can try the neem. As I said, you can try it. But later, if you find out it is not working for you, then you go to the chemical and then practice crop rotation as well.
Okay. Sorry, please, what about the fungicide?
Yeah, the fungicide too, the same thing. Some people did research on neem, this same neem, and they said it also have some fungicidal qualities. But mostly there are some fungicides that are not too toxic. Most of the fungicide that we have, apart from carbendazim and mancozeb, we have sulfur. It is not toxic. We have copper. Copper is not toxic to human beings. So all those ones, the copper, sulfur, the 5-star that I showed, 5-star is also not too harmful. So those ones you can use them. So we have 5-star, Fungicare, Topsin, Topsect, Champion, Sulfur 80, Top Cop, T Copper, Gem Kill, Agro Comet. All these are fungicides that you can use.
Sorry, quick one. What about the ones with the azoxystrobin?
Yeah, that is 5-star.
5-star.
It is only 5-star. Yes. So 5-star has azoxystrobin. And there is another one, I've forgotten the name. It also has azoxystrobin. So those ones are not too harmful for human beings.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just one question before we close the session, because I know this is a very important question that, especially for consumers, that they care more about this sort of question, because most farmers will go into the farm and before they harvest, they would have sprayed a certain chemical or pesticides on their crops, and then they harvest and take it to the market. Is there some sort of recommended interval time that they're supposed to wait before they start to harvest after spraying these sort of pesticides? I mean, just so that for consumers, they know that they are safe in eating them straight away when they buy it from the market, and even for the farmers themselves, to be a bit more, considerate of the people that will be eating those sort of produce. So is there any sort of time frame that you would say ideally use?
Yes, as I said, most of the pesticides that we use, they take 2 months. The pre-harvest interval is usually 2 weeks. It is the nematicides that usually take long, but the pesticide, the fungicide, and then the insecticides, they take some take 1 week, some take 2 weeks. So if you are not too sure, harvest after 2 weeks. If you are not too sure of the pre-harvest interval, after spraying the chemical, harvest after 2 weeks. If you are doing maybe okra, you harvest like 3 or 4 days. Every 3 or 4 days you harvest. So you need to use, when you are going to buy, look for a chemical that have a short pre-harvest interval. Okay, I think lambda like this. I think lambda is a contact insecticide. So usually those ones, they have short pre-harvest interval. And then the natural ones too, as I talked about, the natural ones, the BT, those ones you can use them the next day. Neem, you can spray today and harvest today if you are using neem extracts. So the natural ones, we have Bio BT, Ago, V Power, Neem Cake. All these things are with there. And then for fungicide, you can use the sulfur. The sulfur too, it is also contact. So if you harvest the fruit and wash, you can eat. It is not too toxic to human beings compared to other chemicals.
Okay, thank you, Raj. Thank you very much for the presentation. I think.
And let me add this one too. So to control your pest effectively, you see the fungicides. Usually, if there is a disease on the farm, you need a fungicide to treat the disease. That is the treatable diseases. Virus, I've said it, a virus, you can't treat virus. You can only control the insect that is transmitting the viral disease to the farm. And then you improve the plant nutrition so that it will get the strength to withstand the disease. But for bacteria and fungi, you use the fungicide to treat the disease. Therefore, here, if you go to the market and you say you want dietine, because normally they refer to fungicide as dietine. If you go there and you say dietine, it is likely they'll give you mancozeb or carbendazim. So unless you specify, I want 5-star, I want toxin, I want sulfur, I want copper-based fungicide, that is when they will give you that type. And many people don't even know. There are many farmers who don't know that we have liquid fungicides. There are people who have been farming for so many years. It will surprise you. You go there, they don't believe there is liquid. They think all fungicides are powder because they've been using the dietine, which is mancozeb and carbendazim, and they are in the powder form. So when you show them 5-star or any other fungicide that is in the liquid form, they find it difficult to believe that it is a fungicide. But I know most of you here know that we have liquid ones. So when you use the copper-based fungicide, copper-based can control bacterial disease, but some of the other fungicides cannot control bacterial disease. So if you are using copper-based fungicide, you are getting 2 in 1. And if you have this problem, damping off, or any fungal disease that is related to moisture or water, you need to use metolazole. Metolazole is very good at controlling those fungal diseases that usually happen around moist area. Metolazole, very, very effective. And then what else? Sulfur. When you're using sulfur 80, it is both a pesticide and then it is both insecticide and fungicide. It controls spider mites. Ngukujwe, if you have these spider mites, red spider mites, and I say ngukujwe nkokono, nkruma, nyadoa, intus, ni na eba sumoko, obekono ma form spider web bi ewo, and I say nyadoa obekono ma bo spots white bebre also spider mites. We use sulfur now to be control them. And then also I go say 2 in 1 B. So there is no reason for you to be using the mancozeb and carbendazim, which are two-way, toxic to human beings, which can cause childbirth defects. So we need to be careful with those ones.
Okay, Raj, I think that if we continue, you'll probably keep giving us a lot of information that we may probably not end this session. Maybe we can have a second session where it's just going to be questions and answers for you, and you could go a bit more into details, some of these things that you're telling us. But just to keep within the time frame, I think that you've done a great job, and we really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and experience with us this evening. So thank you very much, Raj, and also thank you every farmer that joined us and contributed to this session. I hope that one thing is clear from tonight's session. Using your pesticides effectively is not simply about just spraying more. It's more about using the right product at the right dose, for instance, and at the right time and in the right way as well. So I know when we do it that properly, we can protect our crops, our money, yes, and our health as well. So the people who buy our produce also can also benefit from it, and the environment in general. So this is exactly what we want the Farm Direct Farmer Education Series to achieve. We want practical knowledge that farmers can also use, and so we'll be continuing to organize these sort of sessions covering different topics, and I believe that Raj, he's got quite an extensive, knowledge that he would want to share with us. So I think he'll be coming on to the show quite often. So look out, and So again, thank you once again, Mr. Abdulai Suraj. I believe that if people want to get in touch with you, they can. Do you want to put your number out there, or they can contact us and we would, pass information over to you? I don't know, whichever one that you want.
Okay, whichever way is cool.
Okay,
I'm okay with whichever way.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to reach out to Suraj, you can contact us and we would happily arrange for you to have a chat with him. Have a good evening, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you at the next farmer education session. Hopefully next month. We aim to do this every month, and so we'll be happy to have you come over again for our next session. So this is a Farm Direct. Our aim is to connect farmers directly to buyers. If you've not registered on the platform, just go there, register on the platform, make a listing of your farm produce if you're a farmer on here, and also if you are a buyer or consumer, you can go on the Farm Direct, browse there, contact most of these farmers that have listed their produce on our site, and hopefully everyone have a successful transaction through that. So thank you all, and very happy to see you out here. Have a nice evening, and bye-bye. Thank you, Raj.
Farm Direct, meet the farmer, buy it fresh, make it faster, from the farm gate to your market. Farm Direct, we make it happen.